All right, guys, so some of you guys were asking how to get your chipboard vocab model from Sketchup Online to turn it into an AXO using the extension that I showed you last week. So what I've done is I'm logged into my virtual machine. I set it to full screen by utilizing this button. And then I also hit the pin button so that I can make it look more like I'm working directly on the computer. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and start up Chrome. So I just come down here, I start typing in Chrome, I get Chrome. At this point, I'm going to go to the SketchUp app. So I can just type in SketchUp app. And you'll see the first thing that pop up is this Google SketchUp. I'm going to click on this. SketchUp's going to start booting. And I'm going to let this boot up. And my file is called fake chipboard vocab, so I'm going to let this happen. All right, so here we go. I've got my fake chipboard vocab. I'm going to go ahead and double click that to open it. And you should be used to this scene, right? So in your guys' case, you'll have just your one model. I'm going to go ahead and delete out these dimensions and that little spare thing. So give me just one quick second. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And I'm going to delete this. And okay, I got my chipboard vocab model. I'm good to go. Now, what I need you guys to understand is this is saved on the cloud. So this is hosted on Trimble servers or Google servers. What I'm going to do with this, I'm actually going to download this. And Google SketchUp or SketchUp basically works in versions. So if I look on my desktop, you'll see here I have an icon for SketchUp 2019. Google is backwards compatible, but not forwards compatible, meaning SketchUp 19 can open 19, 18, 17, 16, so on and so forth, right? So it can open 19 and older. It cannot open anything newer than 2019. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this to 2019, hit OK. This is going to generate a file, or it's going to download a file. I'm simply going to throw that onto my desktop, and I can actually close this SketchUp now. What I'm going to do now is open by double clicking, and this takes a second because it's got to actually boot up this program in the background. So all I did was I double clicked on this, and hopefully I did it right. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. So it is loading. This will take just a moment. Okay, so I've now got a chipboard vocab loaded up into, this is SketchUp Pro. So if you look up top, it says SketchUp Pro 2019. One thing I want to caution you on is that when you use the AXO extension, it is a destructive program, meaning once you do it and you hit save, you cannot undo it. So what I recommend is, I'm going to go ahead and have this not as a group. So I'm assuming that you guys don't have the entire thing as a group. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and highlight this entire thing. I'm going to make this a group. And then what I'm going to do is kind of another process. I'm just going to make a copy of this. So I use the move command, drag it over, tap the control key, and that gives me a copy. And the reason why I did that was I'm going to go ahead and convert one of these into an AXO. And I don't care if one of them gets destroyed. What I don't want to do is destroy my original. So the next thing, I've already got it loaded, but I'm going to step through how to load it. See, I already have this extension loaded. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this little button that says Extension Warehouse. And this is sort of like the 3D warehouse, except this is made for secondary programs that run on your computer. So what I'm going to do is type in AXO, and you'll see here that it has pretty much only one thing. Click on it. This is the one. And then what you would do is you would hit this install button. Now you do have to be logged in to make this work, but once you hit the install, it will actually populate on your screen. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Mine's already installed. Normally you would install it, and it'll come up with a little pop-up saying your extension is ready to be utilized or can be used now. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this. I'm going to hit the extensions pull-down menu, and I'm going to go ahead and click on the extension. Now, I need to set this to 45 degrees. Hit the tab button, 45 degrees. The only other thing that you may have to change is you may want to change your direction, and it really depends on what you want, what you need your view to look like. Remember, this side should look like your front view, and this side should look like your right side view. So again, front, right side, and you just adjust this until you get the right view. Once you have that right view, that's really it. You just close this, and you're good to go. Another thing that's really neat about this is, if I was utilizing this for some sort of project, and let's say there was a whole bunch of stuff like hidden in the background and I wanted to see it, you can actually go into what we call styles. And so one of the really cool things about styles is there are a large variety of various styles. And I'm just going to look under assorted, and I could come in here and do this, snow view. Again, some of these are not really my favorite, but you can kind of see that there are various types of styles. But more importantly, as you get through here, there's actually some in here that are like X-ray. So this would actually give you like a really kind of neat view of your AXO, because you could see through it. Now, it might get a little confusing when you start seeing things overlap. And again, as you start to play around with these there are various styles that you could do. That's a very just like a lined, we call it like a wireframe type of view. And as you flip through here, you can find some other ones. The ones I typically use for presentation is I use some of these like some of these more hand drafted views. Again, kind of like cheating that I did it by hand, but there we go. That looks like a sketch. And we can almost quote unquote sell it as a sketch. From this, if you wanted to leave it on the original, you leave it on the original. I'm going to go back to my in model, and I'm going to find just my standard old view. That's your default view. And this should be enough to generate your AXO. And this is a good resource for you. So you could print this. You could, let me see, what would I do? I would probably quite simply come into export as a 2D graphic, and this will pop up, and you can set this as a JPEG, and I could put it on my desktop, and I'm just going to call it AXO Chipboard Vocab, right? So to give it a name for now. I'm going to go ahead and close Sketchup because I'm done showing it. I'm going to save this just so I have it. But more importantly, I kind of created this this image on my screen somewhere, and it should just say AXO. There it is, right there. It's a JPEG file. If I double click it, it'll open up like a normal image in a moment. There it is. It's a photo just like any other photo you've ever taken. Then you could print this out on a sheet of paper. You could, one thing I often do is, well, you might have to email this back to yourself so that you're not working on the virtual machine anymore. But one thing I've been known to do throughout the years is, if I keep needing to refer back to an image, I will sometimes right click on an image and actually set this to background, so that it just becomes the background on my desktop. And I do that so that if I keep referring back to it, I can utilize it, and then I just change my background after I'm done using the project. But that's it.